Here, boys and girls in the YouTube world. Well, I got another reloading press for sale here. I've got a Lee 38 Special 357 Magnum. It's the Loadmaster. I picked it up a few years ago to use for myself because I had about 25 pound of 38 Special brass and then a couple of thousand 357s. I don't need the press anymore. I'm getting ready to move, so I figure I might as well sell the press. It's been sitting on the bench. I haven't used it in over a year, so I just took it apart today. Of course, naturally, I want to work in the shop, and power went out about an hour and a half ago. You know, tree fell down on the power lines. Geez, imagine that. Anyway, this is what you're getting. A used Lee press, all right. I've got powder measure and everything. In fact, there's a disc in there set up for bullseye already and a 160 grain bullet. You got all the parts. I got a replacement arm in here for the primer, what I call it, the primer shuttle, okay, because this one on the inside gets a little torn up. This one needs to be replaced. There's the replacement part in here, so you're going to have to replace it. The little gold chain that operates the powder arm. I took that, I actually broke it, I popped it apart. It's just like a little pull chain you find on a ceiling light. And I took a small piece of copper wire and kind of wrapped it around there. I was used to using a heavier press with that little chain on it, and I kind of gave her a little crunch one day and she popped, so I had to repair that. You got, okay, the bin that's going to catch your cartridges for you, your primer tray, all this stuff. There's 4 tubes for your shell casings. There's no automatic bullet feed for this, okay? So pretty much you start running the thing through and you drop a bullet in after it drops the powder for you, and you know, it's going to spit one out the next pull of the handle. I thought the press worked really well. I've heard some bad reviews on them, but you know, I mean, I adjusted the die heads for 38s and 2 or 3 different kinds of 357 bullets. It worked great for me. One of my bad habits is I'll short stroke the arm so I don't get the primer set all the way. Remember, you got to run a full stroke on this arm so you get your primer to seat properly. And the other drawback is this little plastic deal here, this primer shuttle. When you're punching your primers out, you pick up all the crud and it rotates around that shell head, and that gets hung up in here. So I would suggest every couple hundred rounds, you know, pop the shell plate off, take this off, and run it through. And give it a little cleaning, you know, blow it off, a little light soap, water, give it a rinse, let it dry, put it all back together. It's got lube points on the press. You can actually, there's actually grease fittings. I would suggest use just a very little bit of grease. I hit this with my grease gun, and I spent more time cleaning grease up than I did anything else. Let's get your primer. Down here on the bottom, you can pop this out, dump out your spent primers. All right. It's a good press. It's not a real heavy press for, you know, as far as weight goes. It is cast aluminum. Like I said, the only issues I had with the thing were I broke the little chain, which I forced it, and this primer shuttle right here. I would suggest to buy another one. They're only a couple of dollars. Keep it on hand. And I cleaned this one up probably about 10 or 15 times. I mean, you know, I cranked out well over 4,000 rounds of 38s, and I don't know how many 357s. This is Black Powder Bill. Black Powder Bill's reloading supplies. www.blackpowderbill.com. I'm going to put this up on Gunbroker. I think these go for just under $200 to begin with. Maybe I'm wrong. I probably you'd be looking at somewhere around $175, and I'll include shipping with that. So if I throw it up on Gunbroker, I'll probably ask about $1.60 or so, and then, you know, $15 for shipping. That's just it, you know. Come check it out, Black Powder Bill. You can find me on gunbroker.com as BPBRS, or on Auction Arms as Black Powder Bill Reloading, or just go to www.blackpowderbill.com. I list things there for sale, and I also post some outdoor type news and a couple opinions every now and then. But you got a good Lee press here. It's served me well. I have a Dillon press. I have a lot of presses, okay? So, you know, you can have a good press here and well under $200, and you'll be on your way to loading 38s and 357s. This is Black Powder Bill out. You all have a nice Christmas.